the high testosterone personality. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about mindset and what you need to do to improve your mindset to accomplish high testosterone levels naturally. So this video is a lesson from my natural testosterone mentoring program, which I will give you for free and you can check it out. Hence why you might see me talking about like the program, the next steps, the worksheets. Just focus on the actual video because I feel like it will give you a lot of value. So yeah, that being said, have fun and I'll see you later. What's going on? Alex here, and this is a new chapter about mindset. So today we're going to be starting with the first video about the high testosterone personality and specifically alpha male characteristics and things like that. So who is an alpha male? Well, according to Google, an alpha is the individual in the community with the highest rank. Mostly deals with animals, gorillas, overall animals and things like that. For humans, alpha is the person with the highest rank. So with animals, the strongest animal of the pack is the alpha male. And that alpha male is the only one that can have sex with the female of the pack. Which means the system wouldn't work with humans because the rest of the guys would just pack up and kill the guy. So basically, when it comes to humans, let's get into the different types of alpha males. So when you have a look and you just Google alpha males, a different amount of guys will show up. Superman, Gordon Ramsay, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and Albert Einstein. But you'll see a trend. These all guys have different strengths. For example, Superman, he'll be very strong. Einstein would be very smart. Would you say Superman is smarter than Einstein? Probably not. So what is it that makes them an alpha male? So for my personal opinion, it's how they carry themselves, their testosterone levels, and overall their want to be the best at what they do. So here is what we're going to cover in this section. So everything about body language and how important it is when it comes to boosting your testosterone and how it plays a role. Then everything about being fearless, driven, more about self-awareness and confidence. So body language. So Amy Cuddy, a social psychologist, gave a TED Talk in 2012 on the subject of using your body language to shape who you are. Let me just show you a quick video. Professional action. So here's an example.
Like you see guys like this pull back like that for 2 minutes, literally increases your testosterone in your biochemistry within 2 minutes by 20%. I've been teaching for years that a radical change in your body instantly changes your biochemistry. 38 years of fun. 2 years ago at Harvard, they did a study, scientifically proven, but I've been teaching all these decades, where they call it power postures.
Yeah, the Wonder Woman stance.
Yeah, spanning like Wonder Woman or Superman for 2 minutes. Yep. Or like you see guys like this pull back like that for 2 minutes, literally increases your testosterone in your biochemistry within 2 minutes by 20%. It drops cortisol by 18%, which is the stress hormone, and increases your chance of taking a more risky behavior, which is what's required of a leader, by 33%. 2 minutes. Now that's just standing a certain way. I show people use their voice, their body, their movement, which is 10 times more dynamic than just a stiff stance. And when you change your state, your mental emotional state, you change your body. Well, you're the same person. The only difference is state. So training yourself to be in a peak state every day, like you see guys like this pull back.
Okay. And if you haven't already, make sure you follow me on TikTok at Natural Testosterone. But anyway, let's get back into the slides. So basically, body language. So as you can see, a 2 minute power pose can boost your testosterone levels by 20% and lower your cortisol, which is a stress hormone, by 18%. This doesn't really stack, but your current state will increase. Have you ever hit a PR in the gym and you just take up more space? You just feel more confident. That's a testosterone boost. So it's a really a positive feedback loop. When you do something to boost your testosterone, it's going to improve your posture. You're just going to want to stand straight. And overall, when you have higher testosterone levels, your posture is just going to be naturally higher. And I noticed that personally, when my testosterone levels are low, I need to pay attention to my body language and my posture. But when I'm optimizing my testosterone levels, my posture just naturally stays there. So it's so powerful if you boost your testosterone and vice versa, paying attention to your posture. So look at a person as that's supposed to say Superman. So his body language, he's not like shifty, nervous, closed, but he's confident, powerful, and open. He has very open body language. So when it comes to improving your body language, you need to make sure that you stand tall. Your head is up, your chest is out. You take up a lot of space. Make sure your back is straight, legs are aligned with your shoulders. You have powerful eye contact when you're talking to people. And that's going to improve. A lot of guys are having issues with eye contact, and that's because A, you have low testosterone, and B, you have low confidence. So when you're not working towards your goals and you're being lazy, it's going to be hard to have eye contact. But when you're working toward your goals, you have high testosterone, it's going to be so much easier to have very good eye contact with everybody because you're confident in your body and who you talk to. And another thing when it comes to women, so we as men, we look at women's ass or their body shape because we're attracted to that biologically because of their receptors, and it just represents health. It's going to be, she can have good babies and things like that. Women look at men's eye contact. So if you have very poor eye contact with a female, she's not going to trust you because there's going to be something weird about it. So having very good eye contact is powerful. So make sure you relax, make sure you smile more, make sure you know where your hands are, they're not in your pockets or anything like that, and eliminate any nervous gestures. So what I noticed personally is, I don't know, recording yourself when you talk, overall just looking at yourself when you're doing regular tasks or when you're talking to someone, and you start paying attention to the small little gestures that you do that comes off as you being nervous and unconfident. So getting a coach for that or anything like that, doing more research about it. The next thing you can do is practice in the mirror. So when it comes to, have you ever wondered why when you record yourself, you sound different? Why do I sound like that? The reason behind that is the sound goes inside of you into your ears, right? But when people listen to you or the camera, it's the wave, the voice is going through the air, hence why it sounds different. It's same thing with your body language and things like that. So maybe you think that your body language is good, but in reality, if you record yourself or look in the mirror, it's going to be completely different. So making sure you record yourself, trial and error. Same with if you're training in the gym, making sure your posture is good when you perform exercises. So body language is powerful when it comes to all aspects. When it comes to posture when you're sleeping, posture when you're doing exercises, posture when you're talking to people, posture when you're sitting, and things like that. So next thing, a high testosterone individual is fearless. So what is fear? So basically, fear is the pain that you get when you do something. So for instance, if you were to put your hand over a fire, the fear stops you from damaging yourself and damaging your cells. If you didn't have fear and you didn't have that pain, you would have left your arm over the fire and it would have burnt you. But because we have that fear aspect, it stopped us. Hence why fear is actually not a bad thing, but it gets bad when it depends on, is it real fear or is it social conditioning? So first of all, let's get into social conditioning. Social conditioning is basically the rules that are in place by the social conditioning, like the things like it's weird to be shouting in the middle of the street because of social conditioning. The way you dress, the way you speak, you are socially conditioned to act a certain way. And the majority of the fears come from social conditioning. From the moment that you're watching TV shows, you're socially conditioned to act a certain way. You're social conditioned that talking to a female is going to be something really bad. But you need to fix that loop. So by, let's say, the fear is built is when you do X and you get a Y result, your body bases it off that. And we are socially conditioned by watching a lot of TV shows because they build these social conditions in our body, in our brain, without us even trying it ourselves. And the primary factor is like talking to people, talking to a girl or anything like that. But when you actually go and do it yourself, you'll notice how easy it is. Then there's real fear, like being afraid of lying or putting your hand over a stove. So make sure you don't make fear the boss of you. Be brave, but then there's nothing wrong with being afraid. And high testosterone individuals are assertive. So testosterone is shown to increase assertiveness and self-perspective, meaning you think well of yourself and it reduces fear. And this comes to like calculated fear like fear of social conditioning. So things that you deep down you know it won't harm you, but you have fear based on social conditioning. So if a man likes something that women don't really care about, the reason is usually behind hormones. That just showcases how powerful hormones are. So the reason why we as men like cars, whatever, football, is because of our hormones driven. So a high testosterone guy is driven. So when you think of a high testosterone individual, he's very driven when it comes to his goals and he's going to do everything to accomplish it. The reason behind that is because he has that drive. There's a fire inside of him that keeps him going, that motivation. And men with higher testosterone levels have overall baseline motivation and drive. Don't get me wrong, motivation is not how you accomplish your goals, it's discipline. Because at the motivation is like the spark of the fire, but the discipline is what keeps the fire going. So testosterone increases competitiveness, the ability to see opportunities, the desire to go after those opportunities, and the drive to take action. Testosterone increases competitiveness. I don't know why it's there twice, but like I said, when you have higher testosterone levels, you usually are more optimistic. You see the good side of everything. And when you see the good side of everything, there's something called the RAS, reticular activated system. This is basically your way of filtering your environment. So there's a lot of things happening constantly, and our brain, if it was to take in everything, would have just shut down. Hence why it only focuses on the things that you think about. So let's say you bought a certain type of t-shirt, and you've done a lot of research about it, you've bought it, and now you notice that everyone is wearing that t-shirt. It's not because everybody started wearing that t-shirt. Everyone was already wearing that t-shirt, but because you started paying attention to that t-shirt, your RAS is now focused on it. This comes when it comes to opportunities, your goals, and things like that. So when you have a goal in mind and you have high testosterone levels, you're going to look at opportunities. You're going to look at money, new opportunities, like anything that comes in your way. And you're always going to be paying attention to that. And that's what's going to get you driven. Guys with low testosterone, they're looking at, or what if this fails? Or what if I lose this? And if you're going to pay attention to that, you're going to attract it and you're going to see the reasons why you will fail. So you have drive to become successful in life. So your cup is half full. So when it comes to having higher testosterone levels, these guys usually are optimistic, like I mentioned, and their cup is half full. And look at the opposite. Beta guys, so the opposite of alpha, their cup is usually half empty. And when you talk to individuals like that, their conversations usually surround them. So when you talk to a beta guy, all they want to talk about is themselves. All they want to talk is they give validation from you. Let's say you go to a guy, all they want to talk about is, oh, I did this with a girl, I made this amount of money. And they're seeking their validation because their cup is so empty. They're seeking whatever you want to call to fill up their cup from other people. An instance would be, let's say you say something like, oh, I've just hit a PR in the gym. And they'll be like, oh, really? Well, I hit a PR and I was like tired after work. They make it in a way that they're better than you, even though it doesn't really matter. When an alpha male is, and when your cup is full, when you talk to an alpha guy doesn't talk about himself. All he wants to talk to you, you'd be like, he's going to be like, how are you? How's it going? He's going to be, just wants to help you rather than seeking validation from you, because his cup is so full, he doesn't need validation from you. And that's going to lead to women are going to want to be surrounded around you, because women seek validation from alpha guys. So women seek the biggest building in town. So they look laterally. They look around for the biggest building in town. I'm not talking about dick size or anything like that, but I'm talking about social status, their success and things like that. And men are designed to build the biggest building in town. So when you build the biggest building in town by being very driven, women are going to go out and seek you, if that makes sense. And there's two ways to build the biggest building in town. Number one is you build the biggest building in town by tearing everybody down around you. So these guys would be like, if you see YouTube guys, all they do is, I don't know, expose guys, like tear their YouTube channel down, all this, all that. And the second way to build the biggest building in town is by building the biggest building in town, which is preferably what you want to do. So you want to take action. You're not afraid of failure. So failure is just a lesson. When you fail, you have to ask yourself, rather than why is this happening to me, you want to switch it to what is God or whatever you believe in is trying to teach me. And when you change that perspective, you're going to start taking conclusions from everything that you do, because you need to realize the world is happening for you. So you have to be very aware of what's going on. So confidence. An alpha male, a high testosterone individual is going to be very confident. When you look at people like James Bond, they're going to be very confident. Just their body language, the way they carry themselves. And that confidence is going to lead to success. more women around him, and overall a more appealing look. So testosterone is shown to increase assertiveness and self-perspective, meaning you think well of yourself. So when you have higher testosterone levels, you're just going to be very proud, but not so proud that you think that you're better than everybody else, but you're going to be very humble and you'll be confident in your abilities and you'll be confident in taking action and the steps that you need to take to success. You'll always look at the positive side. The feeling or belief that one can have faith in or rely on something or someone. So that's the definition of confidence on Google. So when you take a lot of action and you get results, you're going to notice you're going to be more confident when it comes to whatever goals you have. And you need to realize that a lot of people lack confidence because they're afraid of judgment from other people. So first thing you need to realize is that the reason why you're afraid of judgment is because you judge people. I bet you, let's say you're afraid of a certain thing on your body that you're afraid of judgment. I don't know, would it be your teeth? I don't know, receding hairline, whatever it is. And when you start walking around, the thing that you start looking at is the receding hairline on other people at their teeth. Remember the RAS, reticular activated system, like I mentioned before. So whatever you're thinking about is what you're going to start paying attention, and you're going to think that people are judging you based on that, but they really don't care because they have their own insecurities that they're probably looking you at, and they're insecure about themselves. So you need to make sure you need to build your confidence. One thing I would recommend is stop idolizing yourself in the mirror. Stop looking in the mirror because it's going to help in your overall confidence. And once you start working on your testosterone journey, your confidence is going to increase. And then you're going to get less judgment because you're going to judge less people. So confidence can be a self-fulfilling prophecy, as those without it may fail or not try because they lack it, and those with it may succeed because they have it rather than because of an innate ability. Eagles fly alone. So when you look at eagles, they're always alone above the storm. They're alone, and when they want to eat a salmon or a fish, they go down and go get it because they're confident they're alone. When it comes to pigeons, they're always in a group and they always get the dirt of the streets. Do you ever see a flock of eagles? No. So you have to ask yourself, are you a pigeon or an eagle? So self-awareness. Self-awareness is very important when it comes to optimizing your testosterone and becoming a masculine individual. So getting by of social conditioning. This course isn't surrounded about social conditioning because I could create another course about just social conditioning because there's so many things like trauma, things that happen throughout your life that is affecting you the way you are. Let's say you're a very quiet individual. The reason behind that is probably because when you were young and you were speaking loud and your parents shouted at you, and from that point you created a negative feedback loop. Is when you talk loud, you think you're going to get shouted at, and you have to kind of release that. So when it comes to social conditioning, there's a lot of things. If you still don't really understand social conditioning, it's basically we are conditioned in a certain way based on external factors, our environment, rather than biological reasons. So for example, your circle, the people you hang with, the people you chill with. So you are the sum of the 5 people you hang around with. I bet you if I take five of your closest people you hang with, you probably make an average the same amount of money as they do. You look an average the amount they do, and confidence and everything like that. So the biggest game changer for me was is fading away from my circle and introducing new high value individuals. And there's different ways you can go about it. One way you can go about it is if you're looking to increase how much money you have, is you're not going to pay a mentor unless you want to be around you because they're usually expensive. But one thing you can do is offer value, give them something that they want. That's what I done personally when I didn't have money. I offered testosterone coaching to entrepreneurs, and I've learned a lot of things when it comes to mindset. These type of people are completely different, and their mindset is different. I've had times where I made a certain amount of money and I was proud of it. And if I was to go to my old group of friends, they would have been like, whoa, that's impressive. But then when I went to the circle of the entrepreneurs and I would have told them how much I made, they would have laughed at me. They would have said, why did you waste your time making that amount of money? You should have done something else. So it's just that perspective. When you start hanging around with people that are more successful than you, you're going to become like them. You're going to think like them. And it's going to be normal for you to do what they do. So, whatever goal you have, try finding a circle of friends that have the same goal. Hence, why I created the Facebook group. Everybody there is trying to boost their testosterone. And some guys already have high testosterone. So joining the conversations, posting on a daily basis, it's going to grow that community, helping each other, talking, getting on the calls, Q&A calls, group calls. That's going to drastically improve when it comes to what your goal is. Because when you start hanging around with me and everybody else, you're just going to want to improve your testosterone and it's going to be normal. For instance, look at prisoners. Why do you think they are all jacked? Do you think it's because they're training a lot? Most guys who go to the gym, they train a lot, but they're not jacked. The reason behind that is their environment. They need to step up because their environment needs them to survive, so they need to look a certain way. So being in that environment is going to help you drastically. You need to be self-aware of, are your goals actually yours? Are your goals, going back to the social conditioning, are your goals affected by the people that you watch, the people you hang with? Like with the guys that I hang around with, like entrepreneurs, they have money. And I'm talking, they have money. They don't look at a price tag, but they still laugh about how there's kids out there who barely make any money, work on McDonald's, and they'll spend 200 quid on shoes, even though they don't have any money. That's a poor way of spending your money. But spending your money, for example, on this program is a wise way of spending your money. Why is that, you say? You're not, in this course, I'm only teaching you about testosterone optimization. Well, testosterone optimization is going to help you with drive motivation. You're going to be more driven to succeed. You're going to get results faster. You're going to succeed faster. And long term, you're going to make more money. So this is you're basically investing in Bitcoin early. Let me just say it that way. And there's a reason why a lot of guys who follow my advice are successful entrepreneurs, because this thing works. So make sure, are your goals actually yours? Pay attention, just sit down and really ask yourself, are these goals really mine? What are the motives behind these goals? Are my motives because I'm trying to impress people that don't need to be impressed? Or are my goals actually genuinely mine? Or are they other people's goals? So you need to be very self-aware. And once you actually realize what your goals really are, you're going to be so much happier because you're going to be working towards yourself. Next thing, you can ask yourself, will I be happy if I look back? So put yourself in a position, let's say you're 80 years old, right? And you're 80 years old and you look back, are these goals that I'm working towards now, am I going to be happy that I achieved these goals? Or are these goals just here because I'm going to look good in this environment? So you need to be very aware of that. So let's get into self-awareness worksheet. So basically, I created this worksheet. So there's going to be in the download section. So when you go here, you click the file and you just make a copy for yourself. And then you can download this and you can just do it for yourself. So basically with this, you just want to answer these questions. This is going to help with self-awareness and just get you more familiar with what you need to work on. So how is your body language? Are you standing straight? Is your eye contact good? What do you need to work on? Be very detailed and look back at the sheet. Make sure you do this before you go to the next video, because this is going to help in helping you in succeeding with this. What type of fears do you need to overcome? So what are the things that are blocking you to move forward? What are you waking up in the middle of the night and what's keeping you awake? Ask yourself these questions and make sure you complete this. No music, no nothing, just in a quiet room and let your brain think and brainstorm everything you need to say. Are you always driven to accomplish your goals? So ask yourself, are you driven? Is there a fire inside of me? What's blocking your confidence? What type of insecurities are you experiencing? Is it because you have goals which are not yours and because you haven't achieved them, you're not confident? So ask yourself that. And what is the biggest roadblock for you when it comes to achieving your goal? What's that one thing, and I bet you're thinking of it right now, that's blocking you from achieving your goal? So make sure you download this and get this complete. You don't need to show me this. You don't have to share it on the Facebook. I just want you to complete this yourself, print it out, put it on the wall, and remind yourself. And you're going to be working towards this. So getting back to this. Here are your action steps. Make sure you complete the worksheet and watch the next video. But before you go, remember, eagles fly alone.